All right, ready? Hey, what's up, everybody? Ronnie here.
Yo, 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 what's up, Miami? AJ here.
So, look, 27-24, dropped two in a row. Um, Too many penalties. It was just a mess. Kind of a boring game. There was moments where the Dolphins looked like they were in it to win it, but ultimately, in too many critical situations, they just kept getting pushed back by penalties or dumb execution. So, AJ, not a ton to talk about because we're obviously pissed off, but what do you think of that one?
It's one of the strangest games I've seen in a really long time. It was lack of energy, but but the offense was playing relatively well in the first half and second half, and then all of a sudden we get the ball back close to midfield twice in the fourth quarter, come out with 0 points. And hell, that was the difference. Losing by three. I'll tell you what the one lonely positive that I get out of this game. No, actually, I'll say two. The play of our quarterback Jay Cutler, and number two is that at the end of the day, even though it looked very strange and sloppy and lots of penalties, our guys never quit until it was all said and done. But frustrating type of game. 4-4. We hit the 500 mark. Um, well, very strange game, Ronnie.
Yeah, I mean, look, I also want to give a special shout out to Julius Thomas, who had six catches for 84 yards and a touchdown. I thought Julius Thomas played very well today. And also it was good to see Devontae Parker back, five catches, 76 yards. Had that incredible one-handed catch. I mean, that was, I already feel it's going to be one of the more underrated catches of the year, but that one-handed catch, get the knee down, harkening back to that Madden line of one knee equals 2 feet. I mean, that was one hell of a catch by Devontae.
We missed the guy. You could see it. I kind of saw Parker going out wide, and for some reason, I had a feeling Jay was going to put it up, and he did. And that's what happens. 6'3" and a half, close to 6'4" body. And his length, his catch radius is unbelievable. It's a tough game. But I'll be honest with you, okay? This season is not over. I think what we saw today was players playing. For some reason, I feel like everyone was playing as individuals as opposed to a team,
Yeah,
and
okay.
and I don't know if that has to do with our head coach or organization making decisions like that, but I think a little bit, out of the heart of the players was stolen from them uh, uh, when the Jay Ajayi trade was made earlier in the week.
Yeah, so look, Jay Ajayi, there was the Devontae catch right there. Before we get into Jay, maybe we can look at that real quick. If I could find my mouse, I can't. So forget it. AJ, you still there?
That's an unbelievable catch. Look at that.
Yeah, that
Boom.
really. So look, let's
His
talk about
knee.
Jay Cutler for a minute. He was, he tried it 42 times, completed 34 passes, 311 yards, and three touchdowns. Not a bad game for Jay. And you really can't put a lot of those penalties on him, but man, there were a lot of penalties. It seemed like we had so many great opportunities in this game to get the upper hand on the Oakland Raiders, this sort of historical rival that we've had for decades. And it seemed like Oakland gave us every single chance that we, wanted to try to get back in this game, and we never could. AJ, why do you think that was?
Well, let's back up here for a second. I disagree with you. I think Jay Cutler didn't have an okay game. He had a phenomenal game. If you look at his quarterback rating, over 120, three touchdowns, no turnovers, threw the ball with accuracy. Remember, Jay didn't play last game, dealing with that rib injury. Um, this is a great sign. The quarterback Jay Cutler played a fantastic game. He didn't win it, but I think we just ran out of time. If we would have gotten that onside kick, hell, who knows?
I
Um,
mean, but I don't know, AJ. I mean, look, at the risk of being argumentative over a loss, which I hate to do.
yeah,
There was many times where I felt that we were in a third down situation where Jay Cutler took that snap, and you can't put it on him per se, but the offensive line sort of let the defense get in a hurry. And I felt that in a lot of big third down passes, Jay Cutler was throwing off his back foot. And
he's been doing that all year and arguably his whole entire career. But let's not forget how bad of an offensive lineman is this Sam Young, number 79.
oh yeah, I mean, remember him in the preseason?
Oh my goodness, I can't believe he still has a job. Um, it looks like, well, first and foremost, the player looks like Casper. I've never seen a wider player than Sam Young. No, number two, it looks like he doesn't wear shoulder pads. He's an awkward looking player. He has the slowest back step that I've ever seen an offensive lineman, and I think that you should fine the Oakland Raiders coaching staff for not putting Mac on him the entire fourth quarter,
Yeah,
because there
yeah.
was no way we had any answer to Mac coming on the edge.
But I also look. I also want to give a little bit of a shout out to to Jarvis Landry. 6 catches, only 32 yards. Again, that low yard per catch, but a touchdown. I thought he played a good game. Had that big holding call though, didn't he? Didn't he? He had a huge holding call. Actually, at the end of the day,
Yes, it was.
if he didn't make that hold, Damian Williams doesn't make that run. So it is what it is. It was a,
I disagree. I think it was an unnecessary hold, and I think it was. If you look at the replay, and I'm sure we'll get the game film later on, it was more of an angry type of hold because it looked like Bauman or Bowen, that huge number 53 linebacker, used to be a 49er, and I have no idea how he ended up being a Raider. But it looked like he got the best of him, and it was an angry type of hold. It was an unnecessary type of play.
AJ, if you look at the play that the replay is doing right now, it's a play I want to talk about because it's about Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake, his numbers for the day, let me see, were 9 carries for 70 yards, 7.7 average, no touchdowns. Similar actually to the 8 carries, 77 yards that Jai put up today with the touchdown. But anyway, what do you think about this little run here?
Oh, the run was fantastic. He took it to the outside. He gave us a great stiff arm. He kept running. That's what Kenyon Drake can do. Um, the problem with Kenyon Drake is if he doesn't have a hole, he's not like Jay in which he could just bust in there, break tackles,
Yeah,
and get 5 to
make
12
his own hole.
yards. In this one, you see it was good blocking scheme. He Oh, I thought we were going to put the replay again. I apologize for that.
It's okay.
He
It went
had an
on to the
open.
next one.
He had an opening, and all of a sudden, it's off to the races with the kid. I like what I saw out of him. I didn't like the fumble. Obviously, we
Yeah,
gave up points, fumbling
that was
inside
the
the
game. I
twenty
mean, look,
yard
that
line.
turned out to be the game. That turned out to be the game right there.
That fumble and the missed extra point from Parkey or Sparky, however you want to call him,
Yeah, that was
what's the
terrible.
what's the difference?
Hey,
Absolutely.
AJ, one weird thing, and I don't know if it was just my telecast. This is just more of a novelty than anything else. Did you notice that for a series they ran it out of this back Madden cam? It seemed like
Yeah,
for the whole series. What was that? Was that
yeah.
a technical malfunction or something?
No, it looked pretty cool. But the reason why they did it was because you see all that smoke there from halftime.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the cameras on the sideline cameras, you in essence you would have seen it would have looked like a cloud that you were trying to look under. So what
Oh,
they
I
do is
see.
they use the high sky cams is what they call it. That way you don't get that cloudy kind of feel.
Yeah, you know what? One other guy I want to talk about real quick, AJ. And I want to get your thoughts on him because look, we've been tough on him. The fans have gotten on us for being tough on him, and that's Pouncey. But I gotta say, Pouncey, he also had a big penalty that actually hurt us. But I thought, look, I think Pouncey is not that injury concern that I've had with him for the past 2 years. I actually seem to have a little bit of faith in the guy.
No, he's an all pro talent. He needs to stay on the field. He needs to forego any of these bonehead penalties that stop and kill drives. Look, we're not good enough to get 20 yards a pop. We're not good enough to with to you know start on a first and 20, first and 15, first and 25. You know, we're just not built for that. So we can't afford penalties. Last time I checked on the stat sheet, I think we had over 10 penalties for over 100 yards. Now, granted, the Raiders, weren't you know, uh, uh, you know, the Raiders and the Dolphins had unbelievable number of penalties and yards. But that's what made it a kind of like a sloppy type of ball game.
Yeah, it really it really was kind of a, I don't know. Look, it's a loss, right? So, and it's late, and I'm a little cranky about the whole thing, but the Dolphins losers tonight, 27-24, home field, Sunday night football. The prime time doesn't end with that, however. Next week, Monday night football, Carolina in Miami. Is that an away game or is that a home game, AJ?
I think it's an away game. However, what I think is going to be critical in that game is the health of our Jawan James, our starting right tackle. I
Yeah.
didn't like the way he limped and grimaced, walking down the sideline. I don't know if it was an ankle injury, but guys, we don't have a backup right tackle. I mean, it's obvious that the Sam Young kid is a major liability.
Yeah, look, Sam Young, someone that we've wondered why they were in the team from the preseason. Every time he got on the field, he seemed like he led a big play. AJ, I got to stop right here because I love this. Look, you got to find the laughs even in the misery. I love this little post-game celebration by Doxson. I mean, look at. I don't think I've ever seen that before. AJ, have you?
I mean, what do you call that? Is that the donkey? Is that the donkey dance?
Holton,
Man,
Holton. Look at that. Look at that,
look at
dude.
that. Ride the pony. That's the ride the pony dance.
Look, we didn't get embarrassed like we did last week or the week before that Thursday night game against Baltimore. We got embarrassed there, 40-0. Then we had to endure losing our All-Pro running back for a fourth round pick, and we came out a little bit more energetic and capable and competent than I thought we were. 27-24. But then again, the Raiders are not a very good football team. That's
You know
what this.
what, Ryan? Before I forget, because I was watching the ball game, and I need to make this comment. Okay, I did not like the facial and energy out of Adam Gase. I
Yeah, me
think
either.
every time the camera was on Adam Gase, He was disgusted with his team. It just felt like, when you're a tough boss, it gets to a point where it's either you're a tough boss or you have zero confidence in your employees. Okay,
And vice
and then
versa.
and vice versa. So I just got this very negative vibe coming out of Adam Gase, and that's not likely. I mean, I never felt that before until I don't know if it's everything that's been going on lately, but he just has this very negative energy around him, and it's not good.
Yeah, look, I couldn't agree with you more, but I do want to stop the presses and talk about one really good play that Sparky did make following his missed extra point on that touchdown drive. He came back, and the Dolphins did a surprise onside kick. And it was actually one of the prettiest onside kicks I think I've ever seen, perfectly executed. And he picks up the ball right at the 10-yard line. AJ, what a play by Sparky.
Yeah, with the heads up play, look how deep the Oakland Raiders are. Definitely, it was a great decision. It was a perfect execution, and I think Sparky had a little extra motivation to make up for that mixed extra point. It just makes it even more of a, it hurts the team
Look,
even
look at
more because this drive,
look at that,
look
look
at
at
that,
that,
one,
boom,
two,
perfect.
boom,
That,
right there, perfect.
yeah,
11 yards in. Don't forget, this is the drive that Drake ends up fumbling at the 20-yard line. Missed opportunity. I think that's what if there's going to be a headline for this game, it's definitely missed opportunities. Way too many. And usually the Miami Dolphins win games like this,
yeah.
and it looks like this. It finally got to them. I guess it was the last. You know, it's a tough loss.
Look, and hearing you talk makes me think about hearing us talk for the last season, and this is the kind of game that Jay Ajayi was made for. And I know there's like enough with the spilled milk, but this 27-24 game, we've been winning these games all season. It's why we're 4-3, or we're 4-3 now, 4-4. But why we came into this game 4-3 is that we can win those close games, and Jay Ajayi seemed to be the difference in almost all of them. And we just, Kenyon Drake and Damian Williams, they're good reserve backs. I think Adam Gase, to your point, he hasn't lost the locker room. It seems like he's lost his own mind.
Yeah.
He looks like he's having a nervous breakdown out there, AJ. Is there any chance that this escalates quickly and becomes a real thing?
Well, I mean, as long as our quarterback Jay Cutler plays solid, um, and our wide receivers make plays, our defense plays good football, we could still win ball games. Again, I don't like how we looked with a backup right tackle. I think pressure. Cutler doesn't handle pressure well, and I'm sure you've made several comments throwing off his back foot because of pressure. You block for him. You give him enough time. Give the receivers enough time. We're a good football team. Offensive line doesn't play as good. We get blown out 40-0. I hope. Look, we're 4-4. We're we're 500. We're still in the playoff race. Defense still plays good football. Sue wasn't hurt, thank goodness.
Yeah, yeah. That's
But the
another one.
problem, yeah, the problem is going to be um, we are heading towards the a disastrous tail end of the schedule. I think we play out of the 8 teams, 6 of them are above 500 and way above 500. So we face Buffalo twice. We face New England twice. We face Kansas City. We face Carolina. it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. We definitely needed this victory. Um, Obviously, we didn't get it. And it's going to show, what the character of the Miami Dolphin locker room it is. And I hope that Adam Gase figures it out, because his mojo, his energy stinks.
Yeah, it really does stink. Well said. Look, it's late as hell. It's already Monday morning for you, AJ, down in Miami. Um, it was a tough game. I don't have a lot to say other than I felt that the Dolphins put up a good fight. I kind of wish the Raiders were a little bit better. It would make me feel a little bit better. But at the end of the day, we had opportunities to win. We did. We weren't embarrassed like we were last game. And it's sad state of affairs when you'll take not being embarrassed as a consolation prize. But I'll take it. And Dolphins halfway mark, week 8, 4-4, 500. Look, we could still win out, go 12-4. I mean, that's not going to happen. But I'm saying, to your point, the season's not over yet. You called it in the preseason. We're a bubble team, and I don't think there's any escaping that. Now it's just a matter of seeing how Adam Gase reacts to all of this, and seeing if he's going to actually practice what he preaches and get some results out of it. So, AJ, any early predictions for next week? Dolphins, Panthers.
Well, it's going to be tough. Carolina's a tough football team. A lot of people are picking them as a kind of like a sleeper Super Bowl pick, believe it or not. If it's not the Eagles, they're saying Carolina may go deep. Cam Newton is a force. He's one of those triple threats as a running back. As a quarterback. It's going to be a tough one. I don't like the Miami Dolphins' first half play against the tight end. And I think that what Carolina is going to bring very similar type of matchup nightmares,
Yeah.
with a Christian McCaffrey being a big, tall receiver like in Funches, and Dixon that is a good tight end with Olsen not being out. It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot tougher than the Oakland Raiders, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, Kiko Alonso was getting butchered by that tight end, number 87. Booker, I believe is his name. I'm not sure.
Cook.
Cook. He
Yeah.
was getting roasted, and they kept putting him on there, and they kept attacking him. But look, there it is. Week 9 in the books. 4-4. Dolphins lose to Oakland, 27-24. AJ, maybe we'll break down a few plays later. Probably not. A little painful. But we'll definitely be back here on next Monday.
You got it, guys. Rock and roll.